بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. My dear students, greeting to you all. Today, inshallah, we will carry on with our English language lessons for the third year. My name is teacher Ina Sahdethi. As you can see, our topic or our lesson is travel and transportation. That's the second unit of book number 4. Today, inshallah, we will start with lesson number 2. And because this is a very important lesson, we will be dividing it into 2 parts. Today we will start with part number 1. So let's start. Bismillah. By the end of the lesson, inshallah, you are expected to use the present simple. What do I mean by present simple? Why is present simple very important? Also, we'll be able to use adverbs of frequency, different adverbs of frequency. And of course, because our lesson is a grammar, we will be doing a lot of exercises. So let's start. We are going to read some sentences, and also we are going to write amazing answers. So for this section, make sure you have your notebook, pencils right next to you. While I'm saying or speaking out the words, make sure you are listening and repeating them correctly. This is your book, book number 4. Make sure you have this book. Travel and transportation start at page 21 or 22. Make sure you have this book. This is the cover, travel and transportation unit number 2. So let's start. In the previous lesson, my dear student, we introduced the word transportation. And also I gave you a homework. I hope you've done this homework by now. Write the correct answer. So here I have 6 pictures. I already gave you the answer to number 1. I have a bus. Okay, so let's go ahead and answer with the correct word. Plane, taxi, train, truck, or motorcycle. So let's start with number 2. What do you think number 2 is, my dear student? Is it a car? Is it a truck? No, actually it's a motorcycle. It is a motorcycle, transportation. Number 3, what do you think? I have a plane. Very good. I have a plane. Excellent, excellent, my dear student. Number 4, what do you think? What do you think? Very good. I have a train. I have a train. Excellent, excellent. Moving to number 5, I have huge blue truck. I have a big blue truck. Very good. And for the last one, number 6, I have a taxi. I have a taxi. These are different kinds of transportation. I have bus, motorcycle, plane, train, truck, and taxi. Very good. Now, let me introduce a new grammar rule that's very important, and we often use this one, is a simple present tense. Simple present tense. It's very important how to use it, when to use it, what's the perfect way to use it. For the simple present, my dear student, we often use it in 4 different situations. Let's start with the first one. I use them to talk about habits, things I used to do in a daily routine. For example, I always drink coffee at work. This is a habit. She gets up at 7 a.m. every day. They usually eat dinner at home. These are different habits that people often do on a daily basis, okay? Habits, routines. So for habits and routines, we use the simple present tense, okay? What else? Whenever we are talking about general facts or truth, we still use the simple present. The earth is not flat. The sun rises in the east. Water boils at 10 or 100 degrees Celsius. So these are all facts, truth. For facts and truth, we use present simple. Also, I use it to talk about truth in the present. He works on Wall Street. She is 60 years old. We live in New York. These are facts. And also we use the present simple to talk about future schedules or future plans. My train arrives tomorrow. We fly to Paris on Monday. Classes begin next week. So present simple is very important whenever we talk about habits, about general facts. Truth in the present are for future arrangements. Now, how to form the present simple? And this is a very important one. I try to give you this flower, so you can go ahead and draw it in your notebook to make it easier for you. We will be focusing on the affirmative sentences. Affirmative sentences. So as you can see to your left, I have 4 different pronouns. You, we, I, they. Okay? So I like, you like, we like, they like, for example, school. I like school. Okay? So whenever we are using these 4 pronouns, we will use them with the base form of the verb like. I sleep, we go, they clean. Okay? On the other side, I have she, he, it. In the middle, I have the word or the verb likes. So here I added an S or perhaps ES. He likes football. She likes cooking. It likes food, for example. So, as you can see, we divided the pronouns into 2 parts. We, you, they, and I. We form it by adding a verb like, go, base form. While for she, he, and it, we add S or perhaps ES in some cases to the verb. He likes, she cleans, it eats, and so on. Let's have extra examples, my dear student. Write the correct answer. Okay, remember I have the flowers right next to the sentences. She, volleyball. So I have she. What do you think? Let's use the word, the verb. Do I say play or plays? What do you think? She plays. Very good. We add S to the verb. She plays volleyball. We, our homework. What do you think? We do or we does? What do you think, my dear student? Now look at the flowers. Remember the flowers. We do our homework. Very good, my dear student. Next, they at that house. They live or they lives? The answer is live. They live at that house. Very good. Next, you every day. Study. What do you think? Do I add S? No, I don't. You study every day. Very good. He, his hands before eating. What do you think? Wash. He washes. Very good. So in this case, we add ES. And I will explain this later in this lesson. Why did we add ES here? This dog. So this dog, I can replace this dog with the pronoun it. Okay, so for it, what do you think? This dog, lots of water. This dog drinks lots of water. Very good. And the last one, we 3 pieces of fruit every day. The verb is eat. We eat. Very good, my dear student. Very good. Excellent. Now, let's have more examples here. For simple present tense, we often use something that's called adverbs of frequency. What do I mean by adverbs of frequency? These are the words or adverbs always, usually, often, sometimes, never, to show how often things happen. For example, let's talk about school, for example. How to form a sentence? We always go to school at 7 o'clock, for example. Okay, that's something that we've done it on a daily routine. Okay, so how often? It starts at 100%. That is always. While we are going down to 50 or 0, we are going through different kind of adverbs. Always, usually, often, Sometimes until we reach to 0%, that's never, never. Okay, now let's read our examples, my dear student. Dad always cooks the dinner. Mom usually gets up early. Mona often surfs the net. Sammy sometimes bangs the door. Huda never goes to school on late. Okay, so here as you can see, I have different adverbs of frequency. Okay, I will talk about them more. Adverbs of frequency, they are different kind of words, as you can see here, my dear student, and this is very important. Starting from your right, I have the word always, or the adverb always. But I need you to focus on the percentage below. For always, these are the activities that we do on a daily basis. Or perhaps we continue doing these things. Always. I always respect my parents. I always pray on time. I always go to school on time. I always do my homework. Okay? While we are moving down, the percentage is dropping. So I have usually 90%. Okay? Moving down to generally, often, sometimes it's 50%. 50%. Okay? Then occasionally, seldom, rarely, until we reach to 0%, I have never, never. Okay? So let's read again. Always, usually, generally, often, sometimes, occasionally, seldom, rarely, and never. Never is 0%. Okay? So for this one, my dear student, I have 3 scenarios, 3 questions, 3 pictures. I need you to add the percentage here. Okay? I usually have fruit, bread, and eggs for breakfast. So what do you think the percentage is here? Usually is 90%, right? Usually is 90%. I usually have fruit and bread for breakfast. Next one. I sometimes have chips for lunch. Sometimes, what do you think? Sometimes is 50%. Very good, my dear student. Sometimes is 50%. And for the last one, I never have cake for dinner. Never is 0%. Very good, my dear student. Remember, all the words in red are called adverbs of frequency. Adverbs of frequency, here we have usually, sometimes, and never. Usually is 90%, sometimes is 50%, while never is 0%. 0%. Now, I have this exercise, my dear student. Help me to choose or circle the correct answer. Number 1. How often do you read a book? Okay. How often do you read a book? The option, I sometimes read a book or I often read a book. Remember, sometimes is 50%. What do you think for the blue one? Is it sometimes? It's not. It's higher than that, so we will pick often. I often read a book. Okay, let's go to number 2. How often does Hind go to the mall? How often does she go to the mall? What do you think? I always go to the cinema or to the mall, or sometimes. What do you think? The answer is sometimes, because I have 50%. Number 3. How often does Jude go to bed late? Now, as you can see, I don't have any color. Okay? I often or never go to bed late. Definitely we will pick never. I never go to bed late. Number 4. How often do you do your homework? I always do my homework because I have full. I will choose always 100%. Very good, my dear students. So have your books ready at page 24. Page 24. As you can see, because this is a very important lesson, we'll be dividing it into 2 parts. We will start by dividing this into 3 sections. I will be zooming in for the first part, then the part in the middle, and then to the last part. I wake up, let's read together. I wake up early every morning. So let's write something here. You come to school at 7. We sleep early. They read in the library. So as you can see here, my dear student, I have all the pronouns I, you, we, and they. And they are followed by the verb in the base form. Okay? They are followed by the verb in the base form. As you can see, I have wake up, come, sleep, and read. But for the other part, let's read the sentences. He eats on the dining table. She cooks on a stove. It drinks milk. Here I have he, I have she, and I have the last pronoun it. And they are followed by a verb and an S or perhaps ES. Let's read the sentences one more time. He eats on the dining table. So here I have an S. She cooks on a stove. It drinks milk. Okay, so let's try to do some exercises to check your understanding. This is the part in the middle at page 24. Complete the sentences by choosing the correct form of the verb. Okay, now focus on what comes before the verb in order to pick correctly. Number 1, I will be reading number 1 and then I'll give you 5 seconds. Try to decide which answer is the correct answer. My sister Lubna and I wakes up at 9 o'clock every Thursday. My sister Lubna and I wakes up at 9 o'clock every Thursday. Right. What do you think, my dear student? And instead of writing my sister Lubna and I, we can replace all these with the pronoun we. Very good. So because we picked we, the answer is, what do you think the answer is? Wake up. My sister Lubna and I, or we, wake up at 9 o'clock every day. Number 2, after I eats breakfast. What do you think? Shall we pick eat or eats, my dear student? What do you think? The answer is definitely eat, because I have the pronoun I. After I eat breakfast, my cousin Sarah. So instead of writing Sarah, we might replace it with the word or with the pronoun she. So what do you think? My cousin Sarah come or comes? What do you think? She comes to our house. Very good. She comes to our house. Excellent. She comes to our house. Number 3, we cooks lunch for the family. What do you think? The answer is cook. Very good. Cook. Number 4, they likes our food. The answer is like. Very good. Like. And number 5, we sleep for an hour before prayers. The answer is sleep. Very good. So let's go ahead and read our answers one more time. My sister Lubna and I wake up at 9 o'clock every Thursday. After I eat breakfast, my cousin Sarah comes to our house. We cook lunch for the family. They like our food. We sleep for an hour before the prayers. Very good, my dear student. Let's go to the lower part. For the lower part, as you can see, I have the adverbs of frequency or frequency adverbs, and I have the percentage in the blue table. I, you, we, they. I often use them with the verb in the base form, buy, eat. He, she, it. We often add s to the verb, buys, eats. I always buy frozen vegetables. The percentage is 100%. We usually eat frozen vegetables. Usually is between 90 to 99%. They sometimes eat frozen vegetables. Sometimes it's 25 to 20 to 75. That's probably 50%. He never eats frozen vegetables. Never is a 0%. Never is a 0%. Very good. These are some of the verbs. In some cases, as you can see, we just add s. So let's start with the first one. In some cases, we just add s as the first part here. Live, lives. Sit, sits. Stay, stays. We just add s. For the other part, if I have the verb that ends in y, we change the y to I and then add es, as the word try, tries, carry, carries. So we replace the y, we change it to I and then add ies. Okay? If I have these verbs ending in s, z, ch, x, we just add es. For example, I have miss, misses, buzz, buzzes, catch, catches, fix, fixes, because I have them ending in these words. And I have some exceptions. These are the word go, I add es, goes, do, does. Very good, my dear student. Excellent. Now let's try to answer these questions. He drives his car every day. What do you think? He drives. Very good. With S. We play or plays tennis after school. The answer is play. Very good. Number 3. He eats ice cream. The answer is eats. Very good. Number 4. They sleeps in their bedroom. Sleep. Very good. The last one. It walks in the park. It walks in the park. Very good, my dear student. So let's try to revise what we have learned in this lesson. In this lesson, we introduce present simple tense with the adverbs of frequency. Please make sure you have more exercises. Go through the lesson one more time. Read in your book in order to start the next part of this lesson. Next class, inshallah. So that is my lesson, my dear student. Until I see you next time, stay safe. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.